me give you guys a little bit of a rundown what's going on. So, October, the second last week in October is usually the last demolition derbies, races, and events that I go to here in Ontario. There's a couple more later on in the year, like I believe there's one called the World's Most Dangerous Demolition Derby. I've not been there. I know a couple people that have been, and the reason I don't go is because it is like a 4.5 hour drive from my house. And usually by this time of the year, I'm pretty beat up, I'm pretty tired, everything like that. So, October 20th was Wreck at the Lex. It is usually the last demolition derby. It used to be ran by a different company. This year it's first year with the new company anyway. So October 20th is the last day of a demolition derby. And October 20th is usually the last day of the Flamborough race, which is the endurance race I've been to in the past. Now they're both held on the same day. And I couldn't go to either one because I had a wedding. So I didn't. I lent a car to a buddy and I gave my camera to a buddy and they filmed for me and they had fun with my car. But due to bad weather, the Flamborough race was cancelled and rescheduled for November 3rd. So that means we can do one more event this year, and I'm going to take this car because it has not had enough punishment up at Jesse's off-road race. Now it's going to go do an endurance race, and she is just caked in mud. There is so much mud on this thing still, it is unbelievably funny. So there's a small list of things that we have to do to this. And one is, I'd like to get a lot of more mud out of this thing because the amount of mud that's in that radiator, it is not going to cool it, and we're going to be doing 120 kilometers an hour around a track. I've downgraded all my brakes to 14s, so I can run the 4-cylinder brakes, so I could run my doubles, but at this event, I don't want to run doubles, so I don't know if I'm going to bring my brakes back up to a V6 brakes, because I did scrap all the brakes that came off of this, so I'm not really sure as of yet. But, I don't know. Do you guys want to see this thing do 400 laps? I don't know if it's 200 or 400 laps, but you guys want to see it doing an endurance race? A little bit of stuff that we have to do, but we'll get her put back together for you. And maybe we can actually blow up this motor, because I tried, and the wife tried, and we were not able to blow up this motor yet. Yeah, let's see what we got left to do to this thing. So we've been working on this Enduro car now for a bit. The next thing I gotta do is I gotta make it have an exhaust. So I've already put like this little flex pipe on there. Need the exhaust to come down and then do like a hard 90 and come over here. The rule is I can't have the hot exhaust blowing on my gas tank. So there was a couple of vehicles there that had side dumps last year or 2 years ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I kind of want a side dump. Be cool to have a nice muffler tip right here or something like that, something crazy loud. And anyway, I got a couple cars outside. I got a Lexus and I got an Accord. I'm gonna try to take it off the Lexus first, and if it doesn't come off, then I'm gonna try taking it off the Accord. So yeah, let's go outside. I'm gonna try flipping one of them on its side, but we'll see how well it goes. Maybe easier for me to remove the parts that way, but alright, let's go get an exhaust. Well, I need those exhaust parts, and I think the only thing I can really get them off is another V6 Toyota Camry. And it's pretty muddy out here right now, so I don't really want to get the jack and spend all the time to jack this car up. So I'm just going to hook a chain to it and see if I can roll this thing over. Now, what else can I use other than my trusty Lumina, just covered in mud? Look at the mud in this thing. Close the trunk. Okay, let's see how well this goes. Oh my god, I should do this for my oil changes on my minivan. So where do we need? I'm thinking if we just cut it right there, and then cut it right there and save that piece. And then maybe not, maybe this is not what I want. Actually, this might just be what I need. Nah, that's too much work to throw this whole thing on there. This isn't gonna work. Maybe if I just cut it there, slide it inside, and then cut it here, and then have it exit past. Maybe I'll just do that. So if I, I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me think about this. I'm looking at this car more and more, and I'm not really liking the root of the exhaust system. I want a side dump. I don't know why. I just want to dump the exhaust out the passenger side. So let's put this car back down and try flipping that one. So before I get 100 people telling me this, I know working on cars flipped on their sides is not safe. And that's why I didn't do it. I went and got a jack, cut all the hangers and removed it. But it was pretty fun to flip them on their sides. Oh, I tried rolling the Accord into the Lexus, and it's like I found out this. Oh my! Oh, look at Jesus, Dave! Look what you sold me. You sold me a bonded up Camry. Jeez. Oh well. So let's take this exhaust inside and see what we can do. I'm kind of hoping to use from here to about the muffler. I don't know. I might use this piece here, but I'm not overly knowing what exactly I'm going to do yet. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm going to try to cut it and see where I can make it work. But remember, guys, stay safe. The only person that's keeping you safe is you, so stay safe. So we have the exhaust here now, and I don't know. I'm kind of thinking if I use from here to about here, about there, that might work. And I'm going to use a measuring tape and get some measurements and then cut it and then try to test fit it. And look, I got a hanger, and who am I kidding? I'm just going to weld this right to the floor. I did it. I put the world's most ugliest, most wrong, uninstalled piece of crap exhaust on this. It goes from a 2-inch to an 1.5 inch, so it's even got a nice restriction for a bit of back pressure. But here's the best part. Look at that tip. Just the tip. Let's see how this thing sounds. So the car hasn't been started in like 5 days, so we're just going to do the old-fashioned cold start and a nice big rev and start. sounds mean. Oh, even all the black smoke. Oh, I'm super excited. This thing's starting to come to life now. Some other stuff that we've done, I just jumped ahead of some other stuff. I put a cage in it. I've got my 4-point racing harness in this out of my old off-road truck. We're just going to use some seat belts and tie the doors together quickly. And then I'm going to use a couple seat belts or 9-wire to hold the trunk shut. Awesome. But I can't make it too shut because this is how I put fuel in this thing. So that's right. That's how you put the fuel into this car. Because the old one rotted out. Oh, this thing's starting to come together. I think one of the last things I got to do now is find an assortment of tires. And why do I need an assortment of tires? Because on oval track, this thing will go through tires like crazy. I'm doing 200 laps, so I'm probably going to eat through about 4 tires on this thing. Probably 1 here, and maybe 3 here. Now, one thing I've learned is you don't want to run steel rims on this corner because the amount of pressure that you put on the rim will actually rip the centers right out of the steel rims if they're cheaper ones. So I'd like to get 3 or 4 aluminum rims for passenger side that apparently they need to hold air. Stupid tire. But you know what? Things are looking good. What I got left to do is clean the windshield. Maybe clean the inside of the windshield. Oh yeah, clean the inside of the windshield. Look at the mud on the inside. Oh, and then just a little bit more things and this thing will be ready to go. But that sounds great. Well, we finished off working on this car. Tires, I'm still a little uncertain what I'm going to do about tires because I spent a lot of time and I went and found some really nice 17s. Pirellis! That's right! But unfortunately they don't fit on the front because they hit the struts and I could use a spacer to space them out, but I'm a little nervous about putting that much stress. So I put them on the back. They're really big and they look pretty cool and they're pretty wide, so hopefully they get me lots of traction on the back. On the front, I have 2 16s, so I got this 16-inch, and then I got this 16-inch, and then I do have one 17 that will fit because this right here is a 205 or 215, 45. Anyway, this tire fits without hitting the strut. I have the light on the roof, and if you guys don't know what this light does, it's a light. And it lights up my roof sign because the wife has to keep tracking me every lap I do. So by having that, it makes her job a lot easier. Got my fuel shut off, hooked up, and all wired in. Just duct taped in, but that's okay. Still have a lot of mud inside this car. I got my trunk ratchet strap shut, so that's ready. I got all my batteries on the charger, so that's going. I got my fire extinguisher. Got my 4-point harness. This thing's ready to go. So this weekend, I said this before, but everything kind of got weird. I thought the 12th or the 13th was going to be my last race or in Derby, but then I had a wedding on the 20th, so I couldn't make it to wreck at the Lex or the Flamborough Enduro. But to my luck, the Flamborough Enduro was canceled due to bad weather, and they moved it to a later date. So that means I can participate now. So let's go see how many laps this car can do. I still want to blow up this motor. I still really want to blow this motor up, so I'm going to basically be holding this thing to the floor because if I put a 4-cylinder in this, I'd really like for this V6 not to run. Got the hater exhaust on it, super happy about that. It works, let's just put it that way. But the only thing that we got left to do is just clean the windows. Look at the mud on the inside. Clean the windows, and that's about it. Tried drilling through the windshield, but it didn't go so well. It's just going to run this power cord for my light through the windshield, but I gave up on that. So thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully you guys stay tuned for the race, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.